feeling like a shark in a shrimp tank. Big fish, small pond in the shrimp tank. But it's sink or swim, only option is to win. In the murky water, not a thought of giving in.
Welcome to the video wrap-up of the Seattle Shrimp Tank Podcast. I'm Dan Whedon, along with my co-host, J.B. Wilson. Our guest today has been Bill Peregrine from Earthdance Organics.
We just had a fascinating conversation with Bill. To listen to the entire podcast, visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com. You can also catch out the replay, and please subscribe and rate us on iTunes.
Bill, organics has been a big issue in the world, especially with food. Talk about how you got into organics and landscaping and why you're so passionate about it.
Well, I just believe there's a better way to maintain our properties rather than using heavy chemicals and pesticides on it. And I thought, people are eating organic food, and why not try it in the landscape as well? It seems to do quite well, actually.
Bill, I'm going to be the first to admit that I, like maybe many of our viewers and listeners, do not have a green thumb. So to think about something like this can be overwhelming and daunting. How does one begin? How does one even start?
The green thumb question is actually quite interesting because a green thumb actually happens over time. So when we're working with nature, sometimes nature, be it our landscape or whatever, our vegetable garden, sometimes nature needs some reflective listening time on our behalf. And as we see how the carrots and the tomatoes and all the vegetables did, over this last year, we'll get a little bit more of a green thumb next year because we're going to see and we're going to start to change the way that we manage things. And it'd be true for people that have green thumbs have only been doing it for a longer period of time.
Mm-hmm. So in other words, there's hope.
There is hope.
Okay, good. Well, during the podcast, you brought up a concept, so everybody watching this is going to have to listen to the podcast. You brought up a concept of listening to nature, that's an area that we as humans, especially recently, have stopped doing. Can you talk a little bit about your concept of listening to nature?
Well, yes, and actually, nature is this amazing gift that we're given, and we continue to take from her, all the things in our lives, the wood for our doors, the fabric on this table, these microphones, everything has come from nature to us. And so the idea being is that if we don't start listening, if we don't start giving back in some fashion, then she's going to respond, and she's going to let us know that we're not doing a very good job in listening. And I think that's pretty relevant these days when we turn on the TV. We see the wildfires that are happening in our area, and the tornadoes and the hurricanes that are happening in other areas. My brother, who's in Madison, Wisconsin, they got 13 inches of rain yesterday, which set in 3 hours, it set an all-time record for rainfall ever. And there you have it. So nature is this huge gift. It's an amazing gift, and all we want to do is, in some fashion, try to give back. And the way that we start giving back is to stop and listen.
For those of our listeners who want to get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Oh, it's easy. Just go to our website, which is earthdanceorganics.com. That's Earthdance, like Dancing with the Stars, Organics with the S on the end, .com, Earthdance Organics.
And you have a blog as part of that, too. Talk a little bit about your blog, because that was interesting to talk in the podcast.
Yeah, so we get a lot of questions back from our customers about, because we're doing things organically. And what we started to do is using our blog to actually answer those questions. So now when we get the next question from our customers back, we can actually refer them to our blog. So our blog is chock full of lots of great information that you can garner just by going there.
Well, Bill, we want to thank you for joining us today. So this is, once again, just a snippet of what you can expect on the entire podcast. So visit seattle.shrimptankpodcast.com to check out the replay. Please give us some feedback, rate us, and we'd love to hear from you.
And guess what? We'll be back in 2 weeks, right after Labor Day. We all hope you enjoy a great end of the summer. Enjoy Labor Day. The Wednesday after, September 5th, we're going to be happy to have Kathy Tout from At Your Service Plumbing in the shrimp tank. But for right now, the hay is in the barn.